Yeah, I'm really bad at trying to figure out what these are. So
Yeah, some of them I've never even seen before, and I'm like, what is that? And Sony mentions like, oh yeah, like Mog from Final Fantasy. That was one of the ones I was like, wait. It took me forever, and somebody pointed out, and I was like, that's it.
all right, and we are underway. Looks like both of our racers are starting a sanctuary, just finding that map. So we'll see what they do from here.
Yeah, and that guarantees that there are likely to be items. Well, there will be items and at least one key in the escape, so that's definitely something they'll want to go back to. Looks like they both might be setting up a hula hands.
Wow. I like seeing this. Both racers pretty much having the same mindset here, wanting those early rupees.
Yeah, early rupees. That way, they're for sure able to buy bombs if they don't get any, and also the bottle vendor if Kakariko doesn't yield anything. So they'll be getting their rupees here, and then we'll see if they decide to head straight to Kakariko or if they do different routes.
Yeah, I think what they'll do here, because it's going to start them back in Link's house to be able to check Link's chest there, and probably head to the back of Escape, maybe check the tree pole on the way.
Oh yes, that is a good idea.
And just an arrow upgrade so far.
Pretty slow start so far, but there's plenty of chests to come their way.
And they are both heading over to Kakariko. It looks like I am wrong.
Well, they have the same idea, both going the same way. So far, no route divergence. So we'll be able to see the lucrative hold that Kakariko is. There's plenty of items there. You got 2 spots with 5 items. You got bombable huts and the chicken coop. A lot of places to go.
Yeah, it looks like they're likely going to check the bombable hut, just picking up that one bomb so they don't have enough to fully clear out Kakariko. So that's likely what's going to happen here.
Oh, but there's the bow in the race game, so they're going to use that bomb they got to get that. I mean, that's, or maybe, well, no, Gus isn't, but DarkDyllon wants that bow.
Alright, looks like Gus may be going to grab those extra bombs before he uses the one. That way he can save himself just a few rupees.
Yeah, save 50 rupees. Not a terrible idea. Maybe he's hoping to find some extra bombs here, but he knows where the bow is. Doesn't really need it, so it's really not a terrible idea to not go after it right now. But that is a great find, early start. Easy, like a great weapon. I mean, without the lamp, but these guys are probably pretty good with their dark room tactics in Eastern Palace, but Eastern Palace is already a pretty good place to head to.
Just finding 300 rupees in the chicken hut here. So those early rupees are definitely going to be paying off should they go to Zora early.
Yeah, they already have what they need for Zora money. I guess a little bit less after they buy their bombs in the bottle vendor, but they're already really close there, so pretty wealthy with their Houlihan strat right at the beginning.
And just exchanging 100 rupees for 5 in return. I don't like that deal.
Not the best of exchange rates if you're ever to go after exchange rates.
Got the red boomerang here on Gus's side.
Yes. Oh, and a bottle. That's always great to get a bottle early in Kakariko, because then you can just kind of clear everything out here. You don't have to worry about coming back just to do that. I had another bottle with the blue goo. Wow, 2 bottles already. DarkDyllon about to get cheapskated by the bottle vendor there.
And the sick kid has...
What?
Was that the flute?
That was the flute. They have everything in Kakariko already taken care of. That is a pretty straightforward start to the seed.
I like that. I love finding the flute early. Allows you to get to several different areas of the map really quick.
Yeah.
Especially not having the boots really makes your overworld progress that much quicker.
Yeah, I mean, they can usually go check the mini Moldorms, the swamp, desert, palace, ledge item. Ice Palace get up to Eastern quick by going over there. Death Mountain's open now. It's pretty open with the flute. Really open. Alright, while DarkDyllon is activating his flute, Gus is checking out Blind's hut. See what he's got there for him.
And so far, just 50 rupees.
To add into their already wealthy wallets. Alright, so besides the bow and the flute and a couple bottles, Kakariko really didn't have much for them. They still have plenty of places to go. Like you were saying, the flute is so nice to have earlier. It really, without the boots, it makes travel so much quicker.
Yeah, and that flute allows them to, get up Death Mountain early without having to find the lamp. Allows them to really save time on saving and quitting as well, because a lot of the areas that they would go to early on, that flute can get them there just that much quicker.
Yeah, and also leave there. So I mean, going to Ice Rod Cave is not terrible at this point, because you can flute right down there at 8 at the bottom, run up, and then flute away once you find out what's up there. So really not a bad option to have there. And just bombs down in the Thieves. I don't know what that's called. Is it the Thieves Fall or something? I don't really know.
Sure, why not? We'll call it that.
All right. All right. See where Gus heads to first.
All right, looks like he's gonna go ahead and lower the dam here. See if he can find a soggy item.
Always nice when that item is something worth value. So many times you find it's just rupees or nothing that really provides a whole lot of progression. That's right now, even though they've got some nice items, they really don't. Besides the bow for DarkDyllon, and Gus does know where it is. That's the only real progression item they have, unless Meyer is, of course, a required crystal. Then, of course, that would be flute required.
I'm still kind of curious as to why Gus hasn't picked up that bow yet. It's a really good early weapon, especially as we just see on DarkDyllon's side, the bush crab does drop arrows. So
yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out why he hasn't gone back to pick up that bow yet. For his sake, I hope he doesn't think it was another item.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't pass on it thinking it wasn't anything important, because that would be bad. That was a map check. I didn't realize he was actually checking the map. I thought he was fluting for a second, but all I saw was Crystal 4 at Hera.
Yeah, that's all I was able to catch as well. So we'll wait until either Gus does a map check himself, or if DarkDyllon does look at that map one more time.
Oh my goodness!
Boots and mirror.
Okay, that's a great find. Boots and mirror. Oh man, they have all their travel necessities totally taken care of. Everything that makes travel fast they have it already. This is a travel seed.
And so far, my wishes are coming true. It's rather straightforward so far.
Yeah, it is, and it looks like our tracker did see the other dungeons were a pendant, red or blue, and also just another crystal. So, nothing too crazy on the first 3 dungeons.
Yeah, here in chat, I do see here that it was the blue pendant in desert. Crystals 3 and 4 were Tower of Hera and Eastern Palace.
Awesome. All right, so that's two required dungeons. I always like having crystals in the light world dungeons. It just makes it so much easier to deal with, and then you don't have to worry about as many crystals in the dark world. So Gus is going to take off from the sanctuary, probably go check out the Bark Rock since he just got his boots, which DarkDyllon as well just acquired. So
yeah, and going back to having crystals in the light world, I for one love having them in the light world. They're really quick dungeons to get out of the way. Plus, it does also free up the opportunity to have something like, say, Turtle Rock or Misery Mire being a pendant as well. Maybe not a necessity to have to go in there.
Yeah, and DarkDyllon took a death to those crabs. Those crabs are some of the most deadly creatures in this game, especially when you have just green mail. They do 2 hearts of damage, and usually when you're passing them in the early game, you only have 4, maybe 5 hearts at best, and they deal 2 hearts. It's deadly going through by those guys.
So now we do have our first route divergence. Looks like the green pendant is Skullwoods. Gus checking Sahasrarla's hut, while DarkDyllon is checking Escape. Escape.
And there was the fire rod out of Sahasrarla's hut, so he's got a fire source, so Tower O'Hara is now fully completable. With the mirror, they can get there, they have access. And also, even with the little trick in the Eastern Palace Dark Rooms, if you're not comfortable with the one with the Igor rooms, there is a torch that you can light with your fire rod. You just shoot it straight up a couple times, you'll kill one of the little squid monsters, whatever they're called, and it'll actually be able to get the torch lit in the background and make it a lot easier to kill those Igors there. So I wonder if Gus didn't see that it was a bow. That could be really big down the road, because he hasn't gone back to get it, and he even went to Eastern. So I really think he didn't see that it was a bow there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else that could have looked like. I mean, there's, if you just, I believe you just saw the right part of the bow. I don't really think there's any other items that have that shape, so it's kind of hard to say whether or not, he did see that and just decided to go back later, or if there was some sort of, just not seeing it properly. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I feel like if he had seen what it was, he wouldn't have made the play to Eastern Palace before, without having gone and collected it first, because that you can't. I mean, you still can go into Eastern Palace, but if you know it's the bow there, it'd be silly to go over there without the bow, and that's something he's gonna have to do. And luckily for his sake, he didn't go in hoping he'd find the bow there. But that is definitely going something. If he doesn't know that it was there, that's something that could really put him behind later on.
Yeah. So for Gus's sake, we just have to hope that he plans on going back over there, and and that he did realize that yes, it was the bow on the ledge. So
yeah, because that is somewhere that if you've already think you've checked, you're probably not likely to go back there anytime soon, or even remotely close to seeing what it is. It's really out of the way unless you're purposely going there.
And meanwhile, for DarkDyllon, I don't think there was much of anything there in Escape.
Yeah, the last thing I saw was triple bombs in Zelda's cell, and just some arrow upgrades. We're seeing Gus going through the same stuff, so nothing really important in Escape. They still have the back of Escape to go. As soon as they can get a lift upgrade, they'll be able to head down that way.
Yeah, and DarkDyllon about ready to find their fire rod here in Sahasrarla's hut. Likely going to head on over to Eastern, having the bow and the fire rod in hand.
Yeah, he'll be happy to see that fire rod. With Skullwoods being a green pendant, it's one of those ones where the green pendant's always one of those ones where you get an extra item. It's, is it worth it to go after that and get the kill, get the green pendant, turn it into Sahasrarla? Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be anything. Where they already have the fire rod, it might be telling them, hey, especially you get it in Sahasrarla's hut. If I was doing this, I'd be thinking, hey, go get Smothula it down and bring me back the reward. I'm giving you your equipment to do so.
Yeah, what I'm seeing here, it's almost like that giant arrow with the neon flashing lights. Fire rod Sahasrarla. Come back.
Yes. Especially for Gus, because he checked with Sahasrarla where the green pendant was, so it's definitely saying that. So as soon as he can we're a few items away from being able to head there, but as soon as he has access there, I have a feeling that Sahasrarla might be holding something for him.
And looks like Gus is, he's working on rescuing the old man in the cave, using the boomerang to navigate his way through the dark maze here, so really interesting using that boomerang. I like it.
Yeah, really good use to navigate your way. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon just got a full heart, in the first chest of Eastern Palace. He'll be making his way through there. If he doesn't find the lamp here and continues through with those dark rooms, he will be sequence breaking.
And Gus picks up his blue mail from the old man.
I'm sure he's going to be...
Gave him the last bit of his clothes that he was using to survive in that cave.
Yeah, and you know, and the old man's grateful, and I'm sure Gus is really happy to get that because he was getting bodied by those hard rocks. They were almost killed him. Even I wasn't sure if he was gonna be able to make it out there, but luckily he was able to, and then he got rewarded with a nice armor upgrade.
Guess you can say the old man gave him the clothes off his back for saving him.
Yes, he did. Nothing on top of Inspector Rock or inside, but as we have the mirror, Gus will be able to head to the Tower of Hera, so we'll have our first check there. Now, I'm not sure if the Fire Rod is something that can actually kill Moldworm.
Alright, so it looked like Red Pendant was Palace of Darkness, and I believe I saw one of our 5-6 crystals being Thieves' Town. I didn't get a chance to see what the other one was.
Ice Palace, I actually saw as the 5. I thought Thieves' Town was 2, so I might have been mistaken there. Looks like Misery Mire might have been the other one, the 6, according to our trackers. So that's some help there. And then everything else is regular crystal with... so Palace of Darkness is our other pendant. So our 3 pendants are Hera, Palace of Darkness, and Skullwoods.
Whew, Gus taking a death in Tower of Hera.
He only had 1.5 hearts going in there, so this actually may not be a bad idea. I wonder if that might have even been intentional. He gets a heart refresh as he heads up the tower deeper, or I guess higher.
And DarkDyllon picking up his Fisher-Price shield here. Not much worse here in Eastern quite yet. And then, like you had pointed out earlier, this next room coming up for DarkDyllon, this dark room, much easier with that fire rod. Let's see if he plans on using it here. Look, he just pulled out his bow, so we'll see.
He may not know about that. It's something I learned just recently. Just talking to other racers, I learned that you can actually do that. And maybe he's just comfortable knowing exactly what to do to be able to get that key without having to have a light source.
Alright, he does get that key, so far so good here.
And he used another strat that I've actually seen people use before, where you shoot the Igor with your arrows, which actually lets you know exactly where they're at, so when they're active you can then shoot them afterwards. They have their bow sticking out of their face, and so it helps you see where it is, because that's all you need to kill in that room is the Igor. He holds the key. Everything else in there, in the dark room, they can body you, but with that particular room, all you need to kill is the Igor for the key.
Now, this is really unfortunate for Gus. He's going into Eastern Palace, so I think that pretty much cements it that he did not realize that it was the bow at the race game. Yeah,
that is really unfortunate, because that's, like I was saying earlier, that is something that he may not go back to for a while. And it looks like DarkDyllon picked up the gloves. I did not see that, so I'm not entirely sure where he got those. Must have been here in Eastern Palace.
And DarkDyllon making very quick work of those Armos Knights. And grabs our first pendant, or our first crystal at just about 19 minutes in.
Yeah, that is a very early crystal. And also another thing that I just realized, they now have the ability to full clear desert if there really were the power gloves in here with the flute. Although, no, I'm not sure actually. No, they still need to have the Moon Pearl to be able to get back to Light World after flying to Misery Mire, and they would need the Titan Mitts as well. So scratch that. No Desert Palace on the table yet.
Well, we do get to see our first Ice Rod Cave check. I do believe Gus had unfortunately died on their way over there before, if I'm not mistaken.
And there were the power gloves. They were in there. Good eyes on our tracker catching that. And it's just a piece of heart for DarkDyllon in the Ice Rod Cave.
Alright, so let's see where DarkDyllon heads to. Alright, they are going to be going up to Death Mountain as well, likely going to check Spectacle Rock, Power Pharaoh, and rescuing the old man here.
Yeah, which we know at this point there is nothing there, although we did not get to see what was in Tower of Hero a whole lot because Gus realized that he had no magic and no way to kill those jellies or I don't know what they're really called, the beetles, I believe. And so he actually bailed out of there really quick. And that is another thing, we still don't have a sword, so we're almost 21 minutes in and no sword. So where do you think the first sword is going to be?
Oh geez, I'm thinking the first sword is going to be in Thieves Town.
Thieves Town. It usually does hold a lot of items, so they could be a while until they find the Moon Pearl without a sword, if what you are thinking comes true.
Yeah, I'm thinking that my guess would be Zora having vanilla flippers and then the Waterfall of Wishing having Moon Pearl hammer.
Okay, and Gus taking a death right before that last chest, and he's gonna say, no, I don't have the bow, I can't complete this, so I'll come back later when I get the bow. That is really unfortunate for him.
Alright, so now let's go ahead and see where Gus goes from here. Looks like he is going to head towards the back of Escape here, check the 3 locations there, and see if there's anything of worth down here.
Not a bad idea. He did just get the gloves, and one thing that you know in these randomizers that you try to do when you get an item, a lot of that opens up places. Is the game is trying to tell you to go there. So not a bad idea to see what's down here. And so far, ooh, there's his sword. We got our first sword.
Alright, so once again, I am wrong. Everybody, do not listen to me.
Unfortunately for you, you're wrong, but I'm sure Gus is very happy to get that because up till now he's been using his boomerang to do damage. He had the fire rod, but no magic, and without half magic, that goes away really fast. So looks like he's going to head straight back up to Tower of Hera and get some vengeance on that dungeon.
And DarkDyllon does pick up the bug net in that first chest there. Now, does he have anything that can kill these beetles?
The bow should be fine. I do believe arrows to kill them.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't. Okay, so
yeah, silver arrows are the ones that that can kill them. I don't think he has anything else that works.
Oh, you are right. He only got 2 pots, so I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. Oh, bombs!
Oh,
Bombs do it.
Yes, bombs do it. That.
Alright, gets through that room, so he should be able to get to Trolldorm, but now, does he have anything that can actually take down Moldorm? I know the hammer does, as well as, of course, a sword, but I'm not sure if there's anything in his inventory that he's actually going to be able to use to take him down yet.
You know, I don't think he has anything that can actually damage Moldorm, so I think he's hoping that there is an item up here that he can use to in fact damage him. And that's our second item, that heart container, so there's nothing in here that he can do against Moldorm. Realizes that, he's going to mirror out.
Yep, good on him for realizing that before heading all the way to Moldorm, hoping the item's there. Meanwhile, Gus is following his path. He will be able to kill him. He'll have gotten both items, so won't be able to get anything off Moldorm. And the nice thing is he knows he won't have to head down to the basement. That's always a nice relief for them.
After DarkDyllon nopes out of there, he is going to head over and check Agana's cave here. So, one of these locations that, personally, I haven't seen much worth in, but you never know.
Yeah, it's one of those far-out locations, but that if you don't check, it's going to be the time that it has something big. So it's really good, and then the flute makes it easy to come here, but this time it's just a piece of heart.
Alright, so let's see if Moldorm cooperates here for Gus. I think that's his 4th hit there, number 5 there.
Yep, he's got to get
here
that
comes
last
the hard
crazy
part.
speed. Alright, so DarkDyllon's going to head over to Bonk Rocks, which I know Gus has been to, as he takes a fall. Almost had him. That last phase, when you have the fighter sword, he moves so. I mean, he's already sporadic, and then he just moves so fast, earning his name Trolldorm in this race.
Let's see if Gus does get his vengeance.
And while Gus is going after Trolldorm again, and he gets him. Well done by Gus.
And DarkDyllon heading up to go check Zora, so let's see if Zora has something good. I mean, at this point, Zora would have to have some sort of progression, I would think.
Yeah, I was just starting to think through. If Zora doesn't have anything, where can they go to possibly get some progression? What? I think they've checked everywhere else, so this has to have something, right?
I believe so. This would definitely have to have something that would open up the world. Like I said, possibly flippers.
Yeah, very well could. And Gus is doing the fake flippers.
Oh, and it's the hook shot, so it looks like it's going to be going to East Death Mountain.
Very nice find. That'll sure DarkDyllon's very happy to see that there. Still not really giving any. We still have no Dark World access yet. So at this point, Aghanim is still on the table as Gus heads to the hobo.
Yeah, and even finding that hook shot, you know, that does allow them, you know, should Aghanim be required, it does give them pretty much full access to the Dark World.
Yeah, and DarkDyllon getting trolled by those hard rocks there. Those things, they're just as sporadic as Trolldorm, and man, when they get stuck in your way, it is one of the most frustrating things.
Alright, meanwhile on the Lake Helia Island, we do just see it as a heart container. So it looks like Gus is likely going to be heading over to Zora to get their hook shot.
Yes, that'll be a very good pickup for them.
And then for DarkDyllon, after this, I mean, he's gonna have to find that sword eventually in the back of Escape. So we'll see if he heads there after this, trying to find an item that could possibly prevent them from, you know, having to do Aghanim.
Yeah, that would. Oh, there he's got his sword.
And the Moon Pearl. And wow, there's our Dark World access.
And that opens up Desert Palace, which even though it's a pendant, does have items in it.
Yeah, that opens up Desert Palace. That opens up Thieves Town, Skull Woods, pretty much the entirety of the Dark World minus, you know, Palace of Darkness. I have to find that hammer first.
Yeah, so at this point, Aghanim is likely not to be on the table, but until we find the hammer, that is something that could still make them have to go there. That is the last item they need for full access in Dark World.
Yeah, and even with finding those Titans Emits and the Moon Pearl, now DarkDyllon can combo East Death Mountain, East Dark Death Mountain.
Did you? That was the Cane of Samaria on the floating island, if I'm not mistaken.
And DarkDyllon will be able to pick that up here as well. Once again, finding those Titans Emits. That Cane of Samaria, nice. So that means that at this point, although you probably wouldn't want to go in there yet, Mystery Miner's looking really good.
Yeah, that is a great find. Early Cane of Samaria. I mean, Gus picks up his Moon Pearl and Titan's Mitts. And that is really nice to find the Cane of Samaria there, and he gets his Master Sword.
I was thinking about saving and quitting out, and then realizing, oh wait, I have the Titan's Mitts. I can check Dark Depth Mountain.
Yeah, he probably got so excited fighting all of that progression items, and was like, oh yes, let's go. Wait, oh, I got more items to get here still. Let's stay.
DarkDyllon getting a nice block clip there. So we'll see what these other chests here in Super Bunny Cave have.
Yeah, that was definitely the Cane of Samaria on the floating island, and wow, red mail.
Wow, so looking pretty healthy, pretty protected now. And Gus, having trouble with these dead rocks here.
That's twice he's getting trolled right in that diagonal. Oh man, that is trolling.
It kind of makes you wonder why he's coming over here without the hammer. Maybe he doesn't realize that he doesn't have it yet.
He's gonna get up there and be like, oops. There he goes. And meanwhile, DarkDyllon's in the Hookshot Cave. And he did check the medallion requirement, and it was Ether. So that is a for sure medallion we're looking for, as he picks up the Riot Shield already, and the Lantern.
So Hookshot Cave having some nice items here. No. Yeah, that Riot Shield. Now he has an item that is in the logic for checking the Laser Bridge in Turtle Rock. So all he's got to do is find a pendant, and that's another place that he can go and check.
Yeah, that
medallion, I should say. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm on this pendant thing today. I don't know what it is. First we have pendant crystals, then we have pendant medallions.
Everything's a pendant. All right, so yeah, besides the Ether, DarkDyllon has a full clear of Turtle Rock and the Ice Rod. I'd be getting a little worried that Ice Rod might be on the Laser Bridge. It's been there quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, with that Ice Rod, I mean, the only places that it cannot be, are on Trinex and, of course, in Ganon's Tower. However, there's so many other places in the world still left to check. I wouldn't be too worried about the Ice Rod quite yet.
Yeah, that is true, but they are really close to already being in go mode. I mean, they're missing just a few items. They're missing the flippers for Swamp Palace, and whatever medallions. I didn't see what Myers' medallion was. Did you catch that?
Unfortunately, I don't think he did check what Myers was. I think he just went straight into the Myers shed.
Okay. And of course we are still missing the hammer, so there's a few items away from go mode pretty early on, 33 minutes in, and they're only missing a few items. Alright, Gus is going to go head out and get his Cane of Samaria as DarkDyllon is heading to Desert Palace. He'll realize he doesn't have the big key yet and go into the dungeon.
Yeah, it looks like he was about ready to go steal a key from the back so we could full clear this and realizing, oh wait, I have the boots, so I don't need it.
Yeah, he's able to get everything, whether there's anything on this torch here, which is the big key.
Alright, and let's see where Gus is going to head. Could we be seeing an early Ice Palace?
That would be crazy. That would be... I feel like that would be a crazy gamble.
He's going to do the water walk here to check the Waterfall of Wishing. Okay.
Yes. He was not able to do that his first time up here because he did not have the Moon Pearl, which is what you need if you want to be able to do this glitch here.
Man, I was really excited about a nice palace.
That would have been crazy. Well, I would have loved it, but that would have been crazy.
Alright, so far we just have the powder so far in Desert Palace. It's one of those really nice safety items, especially getting into the later dungeons. And the cape.
So 2 safety items, and maybe they also both hide an item. You need the cape for Bumper Cave as well, and then the powder to check the magic bat. As Gus looks like he's heading to Skull Woods.
And that's a really good play. You know, once again, version 26. Always got to check Skull Woods. So, good play here by Gus.
Especially if it's a pendant, and where it's the green pendant, that's a possible 3 items that you can get from here. He has everything he needs to clear it as well.
Alright, so we'll see what Gus finds here in Skull Woods. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon making his way toward Land Molus here. Does have that fire rod, so it's going to make it a rather easy fight.
Now, I am interested in why he decided to go for the Land Molus kill. It is only a pendant, and it's not the green pendant, so there's no extra item immediately for this. We still don't know if Pedestal is out, but he doesn't need to kill it, so he's already got all the items in here, has he not?
I do believe all he's found so far is the powder, so there is one more item here.
He got the cape right after the powder.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Maybe he's banking on this being a pedestal seed.
That is an interesting decision. This is one of those easier bosses to get to, and where he'd already found everything in the earlier places. A really interesting decision on his part.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're here, you may as well, take that gamble. Take the few extra seconds to take down the boss, just in case as a pedestal seed.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea, and it has a really good Lamless fight with just the fighter sword and no half magic on the fire rod. Does a really good job, and gets his blue medallion, or excuse me, blue pendant, and now he's deciding where to go.
See, now I'm getting you to do them backwards now.
Look at you.
And so far, Gus, all I've seen on Gus's side is a red rupee here. I didn't catch if there was another item yet, but like I said, I do believe that was the only item that we've seen so far here in Skull Woods.
Yeah, I think I saw the map as well. So he's probably banking on, or hoping Mothula has one. And if he does, then he's done with Skull Woods. He gets the green pendant and both items in here. So that would be a pretty nice play if he indeed does have that other item.
Making good use of that boomerang there, stunning the Gibdos here.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
that's...
DarkDyllon... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were in your thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, meanwhile, DarkDyllon following in his footsteps here. So, we're going to be seeing both runners here converge once again back into Skull Woods.
Yeah, I had really good play for both of them, like we said earlier. One thing I really like about the open mode is it really teaches you what other uses the items have, and what you can do with them, who you can kill or not kill, and really kind of opens your mind and your thinking on how to defeat bosses. As Gus has a really nice Mothula fight with the Fire Rod and Master Sword.
Ooh, and picks up that half magic, so there's that second item there. Not really required. So this time around, Skullwood's not entirely paying off the way that its reputation has lived up to.
Yeah, and still have that green pendant check, excuse me. We'll see what it yields, but that is really nice for Gus, where really the Fire Rod is his main source of damage. So for him to get the half magic, I'm sure he's really happy where he's doing everything with that Fire Rod. Even though he does have Master Sword, the Fire Rod still does more damage.
so we'll see what the next play here is for Gus. DarkDyllon having a little bit of trouble setting up that bomb jump, but gets it nonetheless. So you'll be progressing towards the back of Skull Woods here.
He'll be heading his way to Mothia. Let's see if he has the same ideas as Gus did and head straight there. Meanwhile, Gus is checking out the bumper cave, and it was just 5 arrow upgrade. So the cape is not really a required item in this scene.
Alright, so it looks like Gus likely going to go ahead and check the graveyard ledge here as well. And King's Tomb, you can combine both of those here very nicely.
Yeah, really good routing by Gus to be able to take care of Bumper Cave as well as both of these locations all in one decision, because the 3 of them, while there are 3, they are really kind of out of the way from each other, and so it's really well done on his part to get all 3 taken care of out of the way.
Alright, Gus just picking up just a bundle of bombs here.
Yeah, he was running low, so that was nice for him to get some. So bombs are always a nice item to have, especially in later dungeons like Ice Palace. They can do some damage to those penguins.
And let's see what King's Tomb holds. So, Monster Jesus in chat, both of these runners are 2 and 2. This is the tiebreaker for Group Y to see who moves on to the bracket stage from Group Y. I do believe they are going to be, they would be joining, let me take a look here. They would be joining Ninban from their group. Ninban did finish this in their group 4-0. Both of these runners finished 2 and 2. So this is the race to determine who joins Ninban from their group in the brackets.
Yeah, and earlier, I believe just a few days ago, earlier this week, Gus beat DarkDyllon to force the tiebreak. So a rematch relatively quick after, and Gus finds the validation single arrow.
Alright, so now DarkDyllon on his Mothula fight. Not having too difficult of a time here. Let's see if he opts to use his sword here, get the last few hits with his fighter sword spins here.
Yeah, I really like the decision not to use his blue goo there. He's going to save it if he does lose more health and get the full recharge, but he's hoping he doesn't have to waste it. Maybe not necessarily waste, but use it at this point in time.
And looks like Gus is going to go ahead and make the play on Thieves Town here. So we'll see what Thieves Town holds.
DarkDyllon's
on the hammer.
yeah, for his sake, DarkDyllon gets his half magic. He wasn't quite able to get the kill on Mothula without having to use his blue potion. I'm sure he wished he would have been able to hold that, but that fire sword, really short range and just doesn't do a lot of damage.
Yeah, let's just hope for these runners' sake that what happened with the last match that you and I commentated together doesn't happen here, where there was a key progression item in that big chest. So
yes. That seems to happen quite often, where that chest holds a big item, and it seems like they both understand that that's been happening, and so they didn't want to go in there until at the latest possible moment before trying to find that hammer.
So let's go ahead and see what Gus may find here.
There hasn't been a whole lot yet. I did see the compass and a small key and the big key. I'm not sure what the other chest was in the upper half as he heads into the lower and bottom half of Thieves Town.
Yeah, I do believe that there are, I believe, 3 items still left to find here. So that big chest. Definitely going to well, just not definitely, but possibly playing a factor here. Just gotta hope you don't find the map anywhere.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping. He doesn't find the map anywhere, and so that he knows that he's got the full clear. Meanwhile, it looks like DarkDyllon really doesn't want to go into Thieves Town unless he has the hammer. He's going to go through the south of Dark Kakariko route.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be checking out the digging game. Likely going to grab the blacksmith on the way back up there, turning him in, and then likely going to be comboing that into Thieves Town and then taking the purple chest southward after.
Yeah,
if I had to guess, just based on where he came here to the race or to the digging game.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. That's a really good routing decision. You go down, go back up, and they have the mirror, so it's really easy to do the dwarves, and then you're right back into Thieves Town right next to it. So really, it's a really good routing decision on his part, I think.
Nice, getting spin speed off those stairs there. I think that's the first time we've seen spin speed so far in this race.
I believe you're correct. Alright, looks like we had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Didn't see what was in the chest by the maiden.
Right, so let's see if the blacksmith could be holding the hammer. Oh, he's gonna go check the bat cave here.
Oh, the only problem with what he just did, he just lost his Dark World portal, so maybe he did that on purpose. But he just lost his portal back to the Dark World.
Well, you know, the portal to the Dark World isn't too far away from Thieves Town, so it's not really that much time wasted here. So
not terrible.
I kinda like it.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Meanwhile, Gus making very quick work of Blind here. Let's see what Blind has. And Blind has the map. So there's going to be an item in that big chest.
Alright. What do you think's going to be on that big chest? Do you think it's progression?
Blacksmith's having a sword. So they have vanilla blacksmiths.
Yes, and if Gus goes there, it will be a vanilla tempered sword. That'll be his next sword upgrade. So it will be vanilla tempered sword for him. And Gus accidentally running into the lady, getting the guards called on him, but with boots, no problem getting away.
Alright, so let's see where Gus is heading now.
Looks like he's heading to Lumberjack Cave. I thought he checked this earlier, but it looks like he didn't.
Yeah, I thought he had checked it earlier as well. I might be thinking of DarkDyllon.
Yeah, but just 20 rupees, so he knows that for sure, at least he doesn't have to go there.
And Gus, is he heading back into Eastern?
Yeah, he has that one chest that he left. Oh, he might be checking, turning in the green pendant. He has that now.
You're right. It is the flippers. Mothula was required. That is awesome.
So the seed with that neon sign saying "Get the green pendant," it was there. We read that right, and I'm sure both runners kind of felt the same way as they both went and killed Mothula, even though they got both items in Skullwoods. Or no, excuse me, Mothula had the second item.
So now we'll see if the Desert Palace clear from DarkDyllon pays off too.
Yeah, let's take a moment and see what item, if any, can be in the pedestal that would be required for progression. Obviously, you have the medallion. Whether Meyer or Turtle Rock have the same or different ones, those always can be in there, especially since neither is a pendant. Can't be the hammer, because the hammer pod is a ended dungeon.
You could always have the dreaded ice rod there.
Ice rod definitely can be there. And I think as far as progression, that's all we can have in there are the medallions and the ice rod. I think that's all we're missing are those items for go mode now.
Yeah, I do believe you are correct. And then of course they can have any of the fetch quest items. However, those are not necessarily required unless they do lead to, say, one of the medallions or the ice rod.
Yeah, and that is something that would be really trolly. You have to wonder, what would that lead to? Is it important to go for it? Would you, like, you get the book and you go read the pedestal and says it's the shovel, like, you're missing some progression items, then that could be anything. That doesn't help you at all.
Yeah, and Gus does get his vanilla tempered sword heading down to the digging game, then realizing, oh, they're not going to like it when there's something following me, so we'll just head down here. Go check out Hype Cave.
And it has not been so hype in this version, and with how few items they need remaining, I have a feeling it's not going to be hype.
I don't know, I still hold hope for Hype Cave. It has a little, has a soft spot in my heart, even though it has, betrayed us more or less here in version 26.
Yes, it has definitely been Heartbreak Cave lately, not finding anything. But we will see here as Gus returns back to the Dark World. He'll likely check Stumpy on his way. Then pretty standard routing once you get the purple chest, especially if you have the mirror.
You know what I would really love to see? I would love to see the hammer in the first chest in the swamp.
Oh, that's just mean. I thought you wanted a straightforward race. That's just mean.
Originally I wanted a straightforward race, but the more that I'm seeing this, we haven't found that hammer yet. I would love to see it there. Or getting all the way through, having everything else done, and finding that the hammer is on Pyramid. That would be awesome.
Oh man, that's because neither of them have even made way that direction towards there. They actually don't have access up that way. So I don't know if hammer could definitely be there. You'd have to kill Aghanim to get that, and that would just be cruel. Oh, Butter Sword for Gus. He is pretty fully equipped. As soon as he gets his last chest in Eastern, he'll have his Riot Shield, and he will have all the armor and weaponry upgrades.
So I guess Hype Cave was okay this time around. It's more like, yeah, it was okay.
Definitely wasn't Heartbreak. No progression, but getting the sword upgrade is very nice, and DarkDyllon will likely head his way there, and he'll get his Temper Sword. I'm curious to see if he'll head to Back of Escape, because that's where the other sword is.
Yep, and yeah, so we'll see what DarkDyllon does. Only time will tell. Meanwhile, Purple Chest is going to have 20 rupees.
So not much through there, and you have to wonder. There's plenty of places for Gus to still be looking for that bow, and it's when is he going to even think about looking at that race game again? Because he went, and he clearly, at this point, I think it's safe to say, did not see that it was the bow.
Yeah, at this point, especially once he dipped into Eastern Palace, for me that really cemented that he did not see that the bow was at that race game. So it's just a matter of time. We'll see if he does head back down there. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of the game to search for him. Who may actually see him go into every dungeon trying to find that bow. Because at this point the bow can literally be just about anywhere aside from the back of pod.
Yeah, and that is really unfortunate for him because it was in such an easy, accessible place that everybody checks early on. He could have had that so long ago, and Oh man, you have to feel for him if that ends up being the deciding factor in this race.
Yeah, that and with him likely thinking that it was something else, he probably won't go back there to check unless it's the last or until it's the last thing that he checks.
Man, you are probably likely right. DarkDyllon had a really nice, clean Thieves Town blind fight right there as he finishes that off, and he's going to pick up his purple chest.
Yep, so he's going to go and get his tempered sword and those 20 rupees here, so yeah.
Yep, he will have a nice sword upgrade. He'll be well geared out as well as Gus makes his way through Desert Palace. We know he'll find the powder and cape in here on the right side on his way over this way. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon is going through the same stuff that Gus did. So I'd just like to, at this point, if you enjoy what you guys are seeing, give these racers a follow. They're putting on a great show for you. I'm sure they do. They would love having all your follows and giving that support for them and giving them a follow.
Yeah, what's best about follows? Follows are free. It doesn't cost you anything. Really does help support our racers here. They're putting on a fantastic show in this tournament, so please give them a follow if you do like what you're seeing. So from here, where do you think our racers are going to go next?
Let's see. Gus is deciding not to kill Animalus, so at this point, that's not something he does. I feel like he might be. Let's see. He went to Light World and Kakariko. I'm not really sure where he is heading. With that bow being missing, Pod isn't really an option. Maybe Ice Palace, but it's the wrong direction. That's kind of one of the plays for him, though. As for DarkDyllon, I feel like he might head to Pod and see if there are vanilla hammers in there. I don't think he'll go to Swamp yet. That's a pretty risky gamble on the hammer being there. Although Misery Mire is open to both of them, and they have everything they need to clear that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's somewhere where one of them goes next.
Yeah, I personally like. I would like to see them go to Misery Mire as well as Ice Palace. They can clear both of them out. Plus having that half magic really helps out in Ice Palace. Plus those are the two, 5 and 6 crystals, so that'll give them a couple extra locations to check. So personally, I would like to see the combination of Misery Mire and Ice Palace next from each runner.
Yeah, and the only issue with Ice Palace right now is they would need to have the hammer to be able to finish it, and it does lock some items from them. So they may not be heading to Ice Palace for a while, so it'll be interesting. Looks like neither of them are heading in that direction at this point, though.
Alright, let's see where our runners are headed. So Gus looks like he's headed down to check the Bat Cave here. DarkDyllon.
I think he's doing the north of Hyrule. No, I don't know what he's doing.
I'm saying he's headed back towards Mothula.
I don't know. Does he not remember that he killed Mothula? And he doesn't have the book to be able to check Pedestal. Oh, there is that. Did he not? He must not think he has all the items.
It looks like he may have miscounted the items here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, there was just the 20 rupees and the half magic here, so looks like he may have just miscounted. Fortunately, this is just a waste of time.
Yeah, just a little waste of time getting a small key for his efforts, and probably gonna go. I think he's already checked all the other chests. I'm not sure where he's gonna go from here. Looks like he may have realized that just now. Though this might remind him to go to Sahashala and turn in that green pendant, which would be really good for him.
Yep, and that looks like what he is going to be doing at this point. So, be happy to find those flippers.
Yes, and Gus went into the dark rooms of escape and just found 20 rupees, so we now have seen every item within the escape part of the game. Gus he's thinking.
Heading right back over to Kakariko, so we'll see where he goes from here. For a second there, I was hoping that he was headed back down towards the race game.
I know, that's what I was hoping that he did that too, maybe thinking, did I see that right? It looks like DarkDyllon is going to go check on Lake Hylia Island, yes, and also Hobo, since he did not do that earlier. And probably route in the waterfall chests as well.
Yeah, he hasn't checked that yet, so pretty much just unfortunately we know that there's really not much there.
Yeah, and he's probably not wanting to go into Ice Palace or Swamp Palace without the hammer, though I am surprised that he is not going into Misery Mire. It is fully clearable for him. He's got plenty of armor and equipment to make pretty quick work of the dungeon. He has the cape, so he can do cape strats on Vitreous, and I'm kind of curious that neither have decided to go there.
Gus, he is making the play on Swamp Palace.
All right.
If that hammer is in that first chest, oh, this is exciting.
This is super exciting. If it's in there, that's gonna be a big play, because DarkDyllon may not go there for a while. It's really not too terrible of a gamble. If it's not there, you're not diving too far into the dungeon. It's not an incredible time sink. But if it is there, then you found an item that could have trolled you.
So we'll see here. I've only had the hammer here probably a handful of times in the seeds that I've played, but yeah, really exciting.
Yes, it is. DarkDyllon's making the Ice Palace play though.
Oh, and it's just the compass.
Alright, where does he head from here as DarkDyllon enters Ice Palace? I do like this play, even though, you can't clear everything there. I still would have gotten to Misery Mire first. You have everything you need to clear it there. It is a long dungeon, but you can clear it. Whereas this, you're hoping you find a hammer on your way.
Well, unfortunately with Misery Mire, neither of these runners have found one of those medallions yet, so they can't even get into Misery Mire yet.
Wow, I totally forgot all about that. Thank you for pointing that out.
So, I mean, at this point, this is likely one of the only locations that they can check. Now, if they don't find... I mean, you almost have to find the hammer here, or a medallion, otherwise, we possibly could be seeing Aghanim.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If there is no progression in this dungeon, I think you are right. I think they'll have to kill Aghanim.
Boom, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be kind of trolly, but that would be awesome.
Actually, no, they wouldn't need to go to Aghanim. Looks like they can actually access the pyramid. I completely forgot about that. As Gus is his way up the pyramid.
Flippers, I forgot Flippers can give you access this way. Alright, so Gus is gonna check the pyramid at just 20 rupees. Nope, he thought about catfish but changed his mind. He's probably gonna probably head into pod.
And unfortunately, once again, not having that bow, it's gonna make getting through pod very difficult.
Yes, and he's
may be bow locked out of it immediately, so...
That is true. Yeah, he may be very immediately bow locked, which would actually be good for him. For his sake, we need to hope that that's what happens, because the more things he does without getting that bow, since we know where it is, the worse it's going to be for him. So if this is bow locked right off the start, that'll be actually really good for him.
Well, so far nothing of worth here so far in Ice Palace. So we'll see. Just a piece of heart so far.
Yeah, and they can't get to the right side without the hammer. There's two items, chests that are blocked by the hammer. And then, of course, Cold Stare himself. So that's a possible 3 item locations that are completely locked out by no hammer. And it does not look like Gus was bow locked immediately, so he's going to be diving deeper into Pod.
So far, just finding some keys. So, once again, Palace of Darkness living up to its reputation. A whole bunch of keys in the front half, all the items in the back half.
Yeah, it says Dr. Bob Tastic says Mullet Mansion. Party in the back, business up front. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, this chest that Gus is heading to here is the last possible location of the bow for him, which we know it won't be, and it's just another key. So he is bow locked, which we already knew that in the first place, but now he knows he's bow locked. But it looks like he's going to dive deeper, hoping that he can find the hammer or possibly the medallions.
Yeah, hopefully being able to find some sort of progression that you know, unlocks some of these other dungeons. Me personally, for his sake, I hope there's not really anything in here. Yeah, I send him on a wild goose chase.
Unfortunately, that is. Oh, we find the Quake in Quake. Ice Palace.
And looks like DarkDyllon is out of there.
He is actually hammerlocked the rest of the way. He got all the items chests that he possibly could, and he gets Quake, which looks like is required for Misery Mire. So that opens up Mire play, and this looks like it may very well have been a double dip required into Ice Palace.
Yeah, now Misery Mire does have 2 items here, so once again, we're still looking for that hammer. So we'll see if Misery Mire is the answer. Because so far, Palace of Darkness not really having anything worth finding there.
Yeah, there is nothing in Palace of Darkness yet, and it's nothing. There's nothing there. And that DarkDyllon didn't even know that Misery Mire was Quake. He got the medallion, realizing his options were low, took the gamble, and it's what it was. He had to check before he actually went to go and open up the dungeon.
Ooh, and this is the hammer. Hammer is in Palace of Darkness.
Oh man, vanilla dungeon, almost vanilla location even.
Yeah, just a couple chests away. So, dude, you nailed it right there. Vanilla hammer.
All right, so that. Let's see what Gus decides to do. He's gonna go this way and realize pretty quickly that he's bow locked. Won't be able to get past those mimics. And yep, he probably just realized it right there. So now, where do you think Gus is going to head from here?
Let's see. Well, he just got the hammer. That hammer could lead him once again towards Ice Palace. You know, because as you pointed out, that does open up a couple locations there for him. Or yeah, he's going to be heading towards Ice Palace.
Yeah,
that completely opens it up for him.
Yes, it does, and it also opens up Swamp Palace, which he had dove into earlier, hoping he'd find the hammer in that first chest. So, both of those places are now fully open to clear, and poor Gus, he's gonna be hoping he finds the bow sometime soon, because he's getting really close to, to go mode. He's gonna get his Quake in this dungeon.
Yeah, and should either of these runners find, Ether Medallion, because I believe that's what is required for Turtle Rock. Unfortunately for us, he may be full clearing everything.
Yeah. So let's hope that I think he's gonna find the Ether Medallion before he even thinks about going for the bow.
Yeah, because unfortunately, that bow can really be, you know, once again, just about anywhere. You know, we've seen it so many times on Trinex or on that laser bridge in Turtle Rock, so that doesn't, so that leaves that, you know, as an option as well. But you know, so for Gus's sake, you gotta hope that we don't find the bow anywhere, or the medallion anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, his only hope, I guess, is that it's maybe on Helmasaur. That's the only place that it could be that he would need the bow to get, or excuse me, the Ether Medallion on Helmasaur.
And then so far, DarkDyllon only finding, so far, the Cane of Burna from what I've seen. Unfortunately, it didn't catch if there was another item there.
I think he found something early on. I didn't see exactly what it was for sure, but as soon as he got the Cane of Burna, he was about to go check the moving wall room with the torches, but then he realized he had both items, so he went straight to Vitreous, or maybe he's hoping that Vitreous has the second item.
Just making nice work of those pen gators there.
Yeah, Hookshot is my favorite item in Ice Palace. It kills everything. It can really help you get through the ice rooms really well. You can hook across stuff, and then just those pen gators die in one shot from the Hookshot. It's amazing.
All right, so looks like DarkDyllon likely going to opt to use the bow here. Or no, he's going to go with Cape Strats. Good choice.
Yeah, especially with Tempered Sword, you'll make pretty quick work with them. Half magic even, you're not too much of a worry there. Yeah, really, really good Cape Strats there.
And then just 8 arrows to the main eyeball, and Vitreous will be down.
Yeah, really good Vitreous fight. Alright, so he gets a key off Vitreous, so we'll see if he dips back in, realizing that, or then we'll know for sure if he got both items or not. But it looks like he now has his Pyramid Fairy is now available to him. Oh no, excuse me, he has not killed Cold Star. He needs the hammer first.
Alright, so we'll see what the next play for DarkDyllon is. Let's hope that DarkDyllon remembers that, you know, the Flippers does allow him to get 2 Palace of Darkness. Let's hope that he remembers that. Unfortunately, I didn't. So
yeah. And Gus just found the book, so that he might be going. No, he probably realizes that book can't be on pedestal because Palace of Darkness needs the bow. But right now, it's just Ether and Ice Rod are the only things that can possibly be on Palace anymore. Or on Pedestal, excuse me.
Alright, Gus picks up his Quake Medallion, so he'll likely head on over to Misery Mire after this. Because we do know that he was the one who did check Misery Mire to see that it was the Quake Pendant needed.
Yes, so most likely he'll head there, and they get the Cane of Burna, which kind of going again with the logic of this Virgin. When you get something, it typically is trying to point you in the direction of what it opens up. And one thing that the Cane of Burna, the logic asks for, is for Spike Cave, as DarkDyllon is heading up to Catfish. So it'll be interesting to see if either of them decides to make that play for the Spike Cave, which could have either the Ether or Ice Rod, which would be for progression.
And this is our first time seeing Catfish as well, so we'll see if Catfish has one of those items here.
Yeah, Gus was about to go there and decided that he didn't want to head that way yet and went to Palace of Darkness, which ended up being a really good play for him as he got the hammer.
Alright, and it is just a bomb upgrade, so DarkDyllon not mirroring out here, looking like he is indeed going to make the play on Palace of Dark next. Gonna be very happy finding the hammer there as well, and be able to clean up that dungeon.
Yeah, he will, and he will be able to full clear it since he has the bow. It'll be interesting to see if he does. He already has 2 pendants. He went and got the Lamulus kill, which he could have saved for later. Didn't have to go get them. And so it'll be interesting. If he does that, do we see a blind pull at pedestal?
I'm hoping.
Those are always hype moments.
I mean, I know I started out saying I'd love to see this be a very straightforward seed, but the more of this is going on, I kind of want there to be a little bit of a troll here.
Yeah, that would be pretty great. Gus does have the book, so I'm curious to see if he'll at least go read that. It'll be really out of his way, but as he's running out of locations of where that bow could be for him, it's probably something he's thinking about, especially since he just got the book.
Yeah. And, you know, with, you know, Kakariko being really the only, well, no, he does have the hammer, yeah, he does have a hammer now, so I was going to say, with that being one of the only locations that they can open up in the Dark World, that would be a good place to go check. But, you know, like I said, he does have the hammer now, so that does open up all those other dark portals.
Yes, very, very quick access to Swamp Palace this way. It also does open up the hammer pegs, which I always love seeing the hammer strats with the boots knocking down those pegs. Definitely one of the funnest sounds in the game is you hear all those pegs just get knocked down.
Alright, so we will get to see what Swamp has now. Gus taking a second trip in here. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon working his way into Palace of Darkness now. Once again, going to be very happy being able to find the hammer here in the Dark Maze. So we shall see what Gus finds here.
Yeah, he will be very happy to get that, and he will also be able to do the right side since he has the bow, so we'll be able to see what other items are in here, and as we said, if he so chooses, he will be able to full clear the dungeon. Gus has already been into Swamp Palace. He dove in there hoping he'd find the hammer on the first chest. It was just the compass, if I'm not mistaken, so he'll be able to just go straight through these next 2 rooms, head on into the rest of the dungeon of Swamp Palace, and well, most likely he's going to be doing a full clear since he's looking for 3 items currently.
Yeah, I'm really hoping DarkDyllon does full clear this and goes for that blind pedestal pull. That would be amazing.
That would be. I would love to see that. Blind pulls are always fun, and most of the time you just pedestal always has something small. Bombs, an upgrade. Couch cache is obviously one of the most common ones, but it's always fun to see what's on there, and the hype around pedestals. No matter what's going on, the hype around pedestals always there.
Oh yeah.
Alright, DarkDyllon's going to be heading over to that dark maze. He'll be very happy, as you said, to find that hammer. Most likely, we'll at least try to find the rest of the items. He has not gotten any dungeon items, if I'm not mistaken, as Gus goes through the bottom part and collects the first chest, and Piece of Heart is the first item out of Swamp.
Alright, now DarkDyllon did just pick up his hammer. I don't think he has the big key. I think that is on the right side, so we'll see if he does, you know, opt to go there and finish clearing out this dungeon.
Yeah, he might. What he might do is get the items on the right side. Maybe not. I was gonna say might get the items on the right side and then head to Helmisar, hoping that the big chest is just a dungeon item, since they are still missing 2 dungeon items. Wait, he hasn't gotten all these other items down here yet.
Nah, he just went straight back. So gonna get his key here, and then we'll likely get the vanilla big key location.
Yes, that's what it looks like he's doing. Meanwhile, Gus has now found the map and a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. So far Swamp doesn't have anything, and we know there are going to be items on the left side because he's gotten all of the dungeon items. And he just got the big key. Looks like he's going to go straight through, kill Argus, since he knows at this point he has to go to the left side. Actually, not a bad play because he's going to have to go past that big chest on his way left anyways.
Alright, so it looks like DarkDyllon is going to be indeed clearing out the rest of this. Otherwise, I wouldn't think he'd be coming over here to grab the small key and the big key that is going to be on this right side. So, pedestal hype?
Pedestal hype? Blind pull pedestal hype, especially. Now, if it's a blind pull, and it's a required item, say Ice Rod or Ether, that would be amazing.
And Argus just having 20 rupees. So far Swamp not really having anything. We'll see if Gus decides to go in and check that left side with having that big key now.
Yeah, he knows there's still 3 items left in here because he's got all the dungeon items, so I would be surprised if he doesn't go clear out the left side. That's 3 possible items, and it looks like, yeah, he's heading right back in. Alright, it looks like DarkDyllon doesn't want to go to Helmasaur King if he doesn't have to, so he's going to head into the big chest, hoping that the last item is there. There's only 2 possible places where it could be, Helmasaur and the big chest.
Kinda hoping it's not on the big chest. So that we just got it.
That would definitely help us towards that blind pedestal pull.
Alright, so meanwhile Gus making his way through Swamp Palace here. Let's see what this left side holds.
It was just a green rupee, and I actually mistook. There is one more item on Helmasaur for DarkDyllon, and I'm really surprised Gus didn't get the big chest on his way this way. Okay, he's gonna do it now. That's good. Otherwise, that would have been really, really bad routing. It's got to be an item in there, so he'll be able to do the left side and then mirror right on out.
Alright, so it was just 50 rupees there. Let's see if one of the other 2 go mode items are here.
Yeah, so this is, if there is something on the left, it is a required left side swamp, and you will not be able to easily go mode Swamp Palace, which is one of the faster dungeons if you can go mode it. Ice Palace being another one that you can really go through fast if you're in go mode.
So let's see what they find here. Dropping down to this first chest, and it is going to have Ether.
Oh, okay, so Swamp left side is required.
And a blue bottle. So yeah, left side Swamp required. Unfortunately for Gus, that opens up another location that the bow could be for him.
Yep, that's what I was just thinking. That is not good. So do you think he goes to Misery Mire first or Turtle Rock? You can full clear Mire at this point for him. Turtle Rock, you just need the Ice Rod, which, as we've said before, can be anywhere. Looks like, oh, he does have the book, so he's going to check the Bombos tablet. That's a really good decision on his part.
Yeah, and if I were him, I would definitely go to Misery Mire first. It's one of those dungeons that is really far out of the way. If you can save Turtle Rock for last, that's always going to be for the best.
Yeah, it's definitely the most optimal routing. You're already at the top of the mountain. You have everything you need to go straight to Ganon right after. And it looks like he is heading to Misery so that is really good. He'll get his Cane of Burna and get the Misery kill, which opens up the Pyramid Fairy for him, as DarkDyllon gets the shovel off of Helmasaur. Alright, so DarkDyllon just got shovel. He now has the hammer as well, so he can clear Ice Palace. He has the shovel to check, and he now has access to blind pull the pedestal. Where do you think he goes?
I want to see the pedestal.
Looks like he's going to check the shovel first. Maybe we'll see pedestal after that. He also does have access to Swamp Palace, since he has everything he needs to be able to clear that dungeon.
And it's the silver arrows.
Oh, that's nice. That's a very nice find. So he has everything his little heart can desire to be able to make quick work of Ganon. As he heads his way back to Ice Palace, probably has in the back of his mind that he wasn't able to get everything there. Oh, maybe not. Changed his mind. Or did he?
And let's see, maybe heading to Swamp now that he has full access to it.
Yes, and he probably started thinking that they're... Oh, no, Swamp isn't the 5-6. I was thinking maybe he wanted to go to Ice first because that opens up the Pyramid Fairy, but clearly he is thinking more items at Swamp, more possible progression there, which, as we know, he's going to get the Ether, so it's not a bad idea. Now, do you think when he gets that Ether, he finishes off Ice Palace and heads straight up to Turtle Rock, hoping the Ice Rod is in there?
You know, if I were him, before heading up to Turtle Rock, I would definitely do Ice Palace first, because, you know, once again, it does open up the Pyramid Fairy. It does give a couple extra locations. You know, if I'm searching for the Ice Rod, the last place that I want to check is Turtle Rock.
Yeah, because you have to go all the way back through if it's not in there. But if it is in there, then in that moment for DarkDyllon, if he does do Ice Palace first, he can go straight into Ganon's and full clear it and finish the game. So he's probably hoping he finds the Ice Rod before he has to make that decision, though. Alright, so DarkDyllon is going to go through Swamp. He's going to get his book. No, excuse me, book was an Ice Palace. He's going to get his Ether Medallion, and I think there wasn't much else inside of Swamp besides that, just the Ether Medallion and rupees and heart.
Yeah, I think the only item in here was that Ether Medallion. So that, you know, once again, that could lead him up to Turtle Rock. That is the... I mean, aside from this... Yeah, Turtle Rock would be... Well, no. Never mind. I was going to say Turtle Rock would be the only other dungeon, but he does have Ice Palace. And, you know, of course, Tower of Hera up there as well. So...
Yeah, leaving that...
A little bit ahead of myself.
just a little. I'm not too bad. But even like, with Tower of Hera, it's actually a great place to end on your 7th crystal, because especially if he's doing Turtle Rock right before that, he's in the Dark World, heads on over, mirrors to Tower of Hera, and mirrors right back into there and opens up Ganon's tower. So if that ends up working out for him, that's actually a really good play. And I believe he did get all the items out of Hera, so he knows it's just the crystal that he needs there. So it's probably what he's planning on doing. Meanwhile, Gus has got his Cane of Burna. He's going to head onto Vitreous, see if he does the cape strats as well. He doesn't have the bow, so when it comes to the eyeball, he will have to do sword strats, but with the butter sword, he'll be able to make pretty quick work of that eyeball.
Yeah, we'll likely either see spin strats or those dash strats from him as well. Once again, those are very very nice to be able to do without having the bow and those silver arrows especially. So
Yeah, silver arrows makes Vitreous fight probably the easiest fight in the game if you have bow with silvers.
alright, so we are going to be seeing, yep, same strategy. Dash strats through these little eyeballs, makes really quick work of it. Looks like it gets the 0 cycle as well, so...
Yeah, especially with the butter, he just does so much extra damage, just slices right through all those eyeballs, finishes off Vitreous with ease. Very nice fight by Gus.
Alright, so it looks like DarkDyllon is doing the same route that Gus took here through Swamp Palace. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take care of Argus first, and then likely going to dip right back in to check the big chest on the left side.
Yep, both had the same idea there, hoping they can get everything on the way, but they get early map and compass, so it makes it pretty easy knowing that you're going left. And luckily for them both, it does yield progression, so very nice. And it looks like Gus is going straight for that Pyramid Fairy item, hoping that he can find the 2 items he needs.
And just a couple of spins, finishes off Argus for DarkDyllon. Great fight.
Yeah, really great Argus fight. Now, if the Ice Rod is in the Pyramid Fairy, that is for sure telling Gus to head into Turtle Rock, which is going to be really bad because he doesn't have the bow. He will be able to finish the dungeon, but it's just pushing him further and further away from possibly getting the bow.
Yeah, so for Gus's sake, let's just hope that there's nothing here at the Pyramid Fairy. No fetch quest items. Give us just a little bit of love.
Just a little bit of love. Gus is going to need it once he realizes where the bow is. Alright, so they've already checked the item on the pyramid. It was just 20 rupees, so he'll just wait for that countdown to go as DarkDyllon gets his 50 rupees from the big chest and works his way to the left side. Gus finds...
just some rupees. So that's good for Gus. And, with not really finding any items there, it doesn't, help his case to go to any other location, so... yeah.
Yeah, that's really good for him. He might still go into Turtle Rock and make the gamble on Ice Rod being there, but I feel like he'll check other places before that, and hopefully by some chance he makes his way past the race game. I saw him go to 3. I was hoping he was going to go check the race game. All right, pedestal hype. Let's see what it is. Only possible item is the Ice Rod.
Come on, Ice Rod. Show your face.
Which, actually, that could be really good for Gus. If it's the Ice Rod, he will not go into Turtle Rock. And then he'll have to start looking at Overworld and doing all sorts of things, trying to find where that dang bow is.
Yeah, good for Gus, but even better for DarkDyllon. Oh, just Couch Cash, okay. Because DarkDyllon has all of his pendants.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see if DarkDyllon still does a blind pull, because he has everything. He might still check it before he heads to Turtle Rock, just to be safe. And as DarkDyllon gets his Ether Medallion, he is now Ice Rod away from Go mode.
Alright, so let's see where DarkDyllon heads. See if he does that pedestal check, or if he goes straight up to Death Mountain, possibly checking the Spike Cave, because that's not been checked by either of our runners yet. Go and take a look. No, he's going to go ahead and finish off Ice Palace finding that hammer, so good decision.
Yeah, very good decision. He'll be able to check the rest of the items that he left behind, as well as get the Pyramid Fairy, which we know yields nothing, but very good for him. He'll get that out of the way. Then it comes to the decision of whether he does a pedestal pull, or if he does more overworld like Gus is doing, this will be our first hammer pegs, just a piece of heart. So, also, I just remembered, they don't know there is an item in that big chest in Thieves Town. This happened last time. Is it gonna happen again?
And Gus remembers. Good for Gus.
Good job on Gus. He's heading in there. If this is the ice rod, I might lose it.
You know what? I agree with chat. Let's hope it's the mushroom.
A mushroom to ice rod. That's cruel. That's cruel. So if this is nothing for Gus, what does he have left to check? I mean, besides Turtle Rock, what other overworld item locations has he not checked? Spike Cave is one. Just remember that. So what else is there for him?
Let's say Turtle Rock, Spike Cave. I mean, he was the one who did check the catfish. So
no, that was DarkDyllon.
Yeah, that was DarkDyllon. Okay.
Yes,
so
Gus was going to, and he changed his mind. So that's somewhere.
So just a couple, just a couple locations left.
He has one chest that he left in Eastern Palace. Even though he can't clear it, he's probably been waiting to head back there till he gets Bo, but that might be somewhere where he checks as well. This is all stuff that he's going to check before the race game, as we find the blue boomerang in Thieves Town Big Chest. So, right color, wrong item.
Yep, that boomerang is my favorite boomerang.
I actually like that one way better than the red one.
Alright, heading up to Death Mountain. Let's see where he goes first. Is it going to be Turtle Rock or is it going to be Spike Cave? And looks like it's going to be Spike Cave.
It does look like it'll be Spike Cave. He does have access to Turtle Rock from up here. If he wants to go this way to Turtle Rock, he does need to stay in the light world, so it wouldn't be a terrible decision. But my guess is he's going to check Spike Cave on his way and then go the lower side route to Turtle Rock. And yep, he's heading straight to Spike Cave.
Alright, so let's see what is here.
I mean, plenty of magic, saving the hearts. Even if he does head straight into Turtle Rock after this, he gets a full decanter refilled right after, and it's just 10 arrows, so nothing in Spike Cave.
Alright. Nothing in Spike Cave, so he's still here at Death Mountain. Let's see if he stays here. And, yep, he is going to Turtle Rock.
Alright, so he's going to Turtle Rock. We know he's not going to find the bow there. His only... Oh, Ether Tablet. He also has an Ether Tablet.
That's right. I always forget about those tablets.
Yeah. they seem to never really have anything. So, if this time it has something, it's just one of those times where whenever you don't check it, it has it. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon is doing the full right side of Ice Palace. He'll get his book here, and Gus pulls out the book and checks Ether Tablet, and it yields just 20 rupees.
20 rupees. So we're still waiting for the other fetch quest item, the mushroom.
Yep, the shovel yielded silvers. Powder, I believe, was just 20 rupees. So the mushroom could have something for us, and which if they get the mushroom and they head there, not a terrible thing. They can also refill on some potions on their way. Yes, Gus, again, those dead rocks in that same spot. That's 3 times now.
Yeah, those dead rocks are definitely a trolley. Now, I do believe with the dead rocks, if I'm not mistaken, you can use Quake on them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never taken the time to actually find out if it's true, but that is something that I've heard. You can use Quake to actually take care of them. But we're going to open up Turtle Rock. He'll get that full decanter, so magic's definitely not an issue for him. And we'll see what Turtle Rock has. Not too much left in there. Not too much left for him to find that it can be.
Yeah. Really the only things that can be in, I mean, we are missing the other medallion. But, you know, Mushroom, Ice Rod, and I think that's just about it. We know where all the sword upgrades are. He does have all 4 of them. We know where all the shield upgrades are, as DarkDyllon has all of them. So, not much room for further items here.
Yeah, I just Bombo's tablet, not the tablet, the medallion, Mushroom, and Ice Rod. They're only the only items that can actually be in here.
Alright, and meanwhile, DarkDyllon does take care of Cold Stare, so we'll see where he does go from here. Likely going to be checking the Pyramid Fairy now. So,
yeah, I would be surprised if that's not the very first place he goes. Now, after that, if he is where his decision is. If he goes to do the pedestal pull, that's something I wouldn't. It would make sense to do, and then from there, that's really where the big decision is. Does he go make the gamble into Turtle Rock? Or he has still quite a few places in Overworld that he has left to check. He could check a few places, but I mean, he's running out of places where this Ice Rod can be.
Yeah, it looks like DarkDyllon will be going over and checking the Bombo's tablet here. Meanwhile, Gus not really finding anything so far in these first couple of chests. Now we know this chest does have to be a small key, so.
You know, those chain chomps do so much damage, even with red mail. It is ridiculous.
And thankfully having the powder, missing that antifray there a couple times. Fortunately, this room coming up here, not this next room, but the room after, does have 4 of them that are very easy to hit as soon as you get into the door. So.
Yeah, he tried a couple times. And he's like, all right, I'm not gonna deal with you. You're trolling me. I'm gonna go find where there's 4 of them. Might be able to hit one. There you go. Gets them all.
All 4 of them.
Definitely a much easier grab on the fairies. He could have even captured one of those.
Alright, so let's see what's in this vanilla big key chest. Just a piece of heart.
Piece of heart
still
for Gus. Yes. I mean, we figured there wasn't going to be a whole lot in here. And, I mean, there's more times than I'm sure people would like to admit that Ice Rod has been on the laser bridge. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has to go all the way through the dungeon to find the Ice Rod. And then he'll be able to kill Trinex, which won't have the bow, but he will have that crystal. He'll be a little bit closer, and then where does he go? Where does he go after this? I really don't think he's going to think of the race game, like, ever. I really feel like that's so far out of his mind. I can't even imagine that he would think of that.
Yeah, once again, with him having, gone straight into Eastern, gone into Pod now without having the bow, he thinks it's another item.
Yeah, which is so unfortunate. Yeah. So unfortunate. He's made some really good plays. Granted, a lot of that could have been based off the fact that he didn't have the bow. He made some gambles going into pot early, getting the hammer. But, it's hard to say what he would have done if he'd had that bow earlier. Mimic Cave has just bombs. So getting a full clear of Turtle Rock is what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and it's going to be coming down to this laser bridge here. Well, could be in the big key chest, I should say, but I'm hoping there's something on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, that's always fun. And it looks like DarkDyllon is gonna probably do the hammer pegs as well as check Thieves Town big chest since he now has the hammer. Does he go and check pedestal after this, or does he just go straight to Turtle Rock?
You know what? a pedestal check wouldn't be a bad idea. He's over here anyway. I don't see why he wouldn't. Ooh, and it's the ice rod. Nice. So we do have the ice rod, so Gus can full clear this dungeon.
All right, he will have to go onto the laser bridge to get a key. So we'll see how many chests he has to open there, whether it's a full clear or not. But he does have the ice rod, so we are now actually in commentator's go mode, or no mode, as some people call it. So we know where everything is that's required. And imagine DarkDyllon will be coming to Turtle Rock relatively soon. After checking some more overworld locations, he has Ether Tablet, Spike Cave that I'm sure he's going to check, but especially since they're on the way. But Gus and his bow, when does he remember or even think about the race game?
I think it's going to have to be the last location that he checks. Because, once again, he's gone into these other dungeons, and you know, these bow required dungeons, and not being able to clear them because he likely thinks it's another item. So yeah,
most likely, and that's also why he would have done a full clear on Laser Bridge, because he's still looking for the bow, and he did get the mushrooms, so probably gonna go turn that in right after he's done with Trinex, hoping that that bow is there, which unfortunately it will not be, and it also won't be the silvers for him, which also is kind of sad.
Yeah, now with that mushroom, that once again, that does open up another location. Now, a little bit of trivia about this mushroom. Do you know why the mushroom's in the game?
I have no idea.
They're just to remind Link that he is indeed a fun guy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I mean, let's admit, there's not much room for improvement there with that pun.
Oh my gosh. I think you improved it. That's
all right.
I can't.
So Gus, now on to Trinex. Let's see. Wow, kind of lost my train of thought there. I've been waiting this whole race to find the mushroom.
You've been holding that for so long.
So Gus does make very quick work of Trinex here. Just does get the map here, so what's next on the table for him? The only dungeon that he has left that is a crystal is Eastern Palace. So does he go back and check that one chest that he didn't get, or go elsewhere looking for the bow?
Well, first thing he'll do, he'll turn in that mushroom that he just got, I'm sure, and then he probably, that's probably what he does. I mean, again, the race game is so far out of his mind. I can't even imagine that he's even thought twice about it. And it looks like DarkDyllon is not going to do a blind pull. He's going to go straight up to Death Mountain, likely to do his Spike Cave as well as Ether checks, and not finding anything, and probably head into Turtle Rock, which will be the right play for him.
And Mushroom just turns into a bomb upgrade, so once again, Gus has got to find that bow. He's got to go back to that race game.
He's still in this race. Like, if he just goes back and checks on that race game, this is still a race. But the longer, at this point now, the longer he takes to go there, the more his chances of being able to be in this race dwindle. Which is really unfortunate, because, I mean, they've been really close all race. There's really never been a point where you could say one or the other was ahead. I mean, the real reason why you could say DarkDyllon is ahead because he has the bow, and we know that Gus has no idea where it is, and thinking that it's not where it could be. And it looks like he's going to check Catfish, which, he's clearing everything, and which is so unfortunate about that bow. He's really had a really good race, other than that one miss.
Yeah, I mean, you made a really good point there. It's been very difficult to say at any point who's been in the lead here. because both of these runners are making very quick work of the dungeons that they go into, and I mean, even at this point, Gus does have the crystal lead over DarkDyllon, however, doesn't have the bow to be able to go and finish up that last crystal. So it's a bit rough.
Yeah, it really is so unfortunate for Gus, because like we talked about this earlier. We were wanting execution to be the thing that decided the race, which if Gus had gotten that bow, it really would be coming down to each of the person's execution, which both have been doing really well. They haven't made any mistakes on bosses. They've made pretty good work of most of the dungeons, and so this is just so unfortunate that he did not see that it was the bow, because he's going to be doing so many things, just trying to find it. Right now, he was going to head to Eastern Palace, but it looks like he's not going there anymore. Going to Desert. I thought he got all the items here. Oh, he didn't check Agina's cave.
Yeah, and once again, pointing back to that execution, both of these runners have really executed very well. I mean, I don't think any of the deaths that we've seen have been, unintentional. So they're both very clean in that respect.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. They both have done really well, and overall made pretty good decisions. I mean, it's been a pretty, not really a straightforward seed. It's had its turns, and especially with Hammer being in pod, you never really want to go into dungeons. That's one of the most trolly things that can happen in a seed, is having an item in its vanilla dungeon, because you never want to go into the dungeon without required items, especially the Dark World dungeons. Light World dungeons, it's a little bit easier to make that decision.
Yep, and DarkDyllon does take down Moldorm. He actually almost dashed into that middle hole there at the end.
That would have been really unfortunate, as we're talking about how good execution has been, and he makes just a small little mistake. And it doesn't look like he's gonna go to Turtle Rock yet. Oh.
Pedestal? Do we see Pedestal? No, we don't see Pedestal.
I think we do. I think he's just going more on the right direction. I think we do see Pedestal before going into Turtle Rock.
Now, does he just go up there and blind pull it, or is he going to check it first? What do you think?
Well, it is quicker to just check it, if that's all it is, and where we know that would be definitely the best decision for him. But if you have to do both, it's slower to check and then pull. So if you have everything, I would just go pull it, especially because if it is the item you need, it's just that much faster. So my guess is that he'll just go straight pull it, and we'll see what he does. He has not switched to the book, so I think he is just going to go straight pull it.
And we got the pull.
All right, so even though we know it's nothing, we got some pedestal hype here. He's pulling a bunch of rupees outside. It's just 20.
All right, so now let's see where DarkDyllon heads now. He did go ahead and pull out his flute. He's probably going to be heading up towards Death Mountain now.
Yeah, looks like he is. I was going to say the only other option he really has is Escape. He never did the back of Escape, which we know would get him Butter Sword. But he probably hasn't thought about Escape in a long time.
Yeah, it's one of those locations that's honestly easy to forget, just because it is, it's accessible so early on.
Yeah, all you need is Power Gloves to be able to get to the back of it. So he's in, and Gus is lost. He has no idea where to go. I think he's cleared everything in the overworld. Yeah, he's cleared everything in the overworld. He's gotten all the items out of each of the dungeons. I think he might just be coming back here to double check some of these locations. Yeah, he's gonna find he's been here. Yep, finds, well, crap. Where? Yeah, he has no idea where to go right now, which is so unfortunate, because if he goes to the race game, he is still in this race.
Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. You know, something like that, you know, mistaking an item for something else. I mean, it really truly is unfortunate that that is likely what's going to be the deciding factor for this race.
It's super unfortunate. He's going into dungeons, seeing if he's got everything. He is at his wit's end. He has no idea where to go because I mean, it's like we were saying earlier. The race game is probably not even remotely close to something that's on his mind. He's done like he already checked it. As soon as you check it, and if you don't go in there right then and there, you never go back. It's not something you'd ever need to go back for.
Alright, so DarkDyllon is making his way through Turtle Rock here. He's going to be very happy once he does find his ice rod in that roller room. So let's see where Gus decides to go. Looks like he's double checking Kakariko, see if he heads... he's gonna head into the Dark World, it looks like. And you just kind of wish that instead of coming up here, he went down south and double checked the library and the race game.
I know, like he's starting to double check everything. Just the one place he needs to double check. Oh, he's gonna check all these the chess game. He's gonna check the vulnerable hut. Probably check the sea house. Yep, he's diving into Thieves Town again. He's gonna look and realize he's gotten everything.
Yeah, and you can't help but just feel bad at this point. You know, this is, you know, the race. Neither of these racers, you know, want to be out of this tournament. You can't help but feel for Gus right now.
Yeah, it's so sad to see that this complete, like, not even really anything bad that he's done. It's just one tiny little thing has stopped him, and you can tell that he does not know where to go, and it's so sad to see.
Alright, so we'll see where he heads next. Once again, we just gotta hope that he goes down to that race game.
Yeah, I mean, he's been double checking everything. He's going up to Death Mountain. Oh man, if he goes through all the Death Mountain stuff to check, that's just so many places that he's already done, and he's just gonna keep checking, and it's unfortunately not gonna give him anything, and it's just, oh man.
Yeah, he's may double check Spectacle Rock here.
You gotta feel for him. He's checked everything. Like, I can't think of anywhere that he hasn't checked. Oh, he's gonna go do the basement of Tower of Hera. Oh nope, he's gonna know that he doesn't need to. Hopefully, nope.
Yeah, it's just the one item that he has left, and that's the compass. So
he realized it. He realized it. That's good.
So he's just gonna be looking at the overworld here, thinking, "Where did I miss? Where can I go check?"
You just gotta hope that he starts double checking everywhere that has items that you don't always grab. You know, so library, the places that you can see the item without having to actually go to it. He's got library. He's got the race game, of course. Lake Hylia Island. What other places are visible without actually having to go check?
The other place I can think of is the floating island.
And that came to Samaria, so he's probably.
No! Yeah.
Okay.
Is he going?
Yes.
Come on, Gus. You can do this.
Go left. Go left. Okay. He's going to the library.
Oh, come on, please.
Go down. No.
No.
Oh no!
Gus. Please. You were so close.
Just double check it. And just as a reminder to everybody, we are not rooting for any one racer. We obviously just want everybody to have a good race and to have a nice competitive race. We want to see a nice quick one. And you got to be feeling for Gus in this situation. Just he's missing one item. He's checked everywhere. He even checked race game earlier, but mistook it for something else. We're not entirely sure what he thought it was, and it's been holding him back right now. And it's really unfortunate because this has been a really close race throughout.
Yeah, and I mean you can't help but think if Gus did find that bow, DarkDyllon has full cleared every dungeon. You can't help but think, what if, you know?
Yeah, that's very true. Really good point. Like, what if he had not checked? I mean, we know that he likely would have full cleared pod, because he went in there when he did. He would have gotten the hammer and had the bow, so he would have full cleared pod, which wouldn't have been a bad thing. He would have gotten his silvers, but yeah, he's so close, but he's just so close, but not there. Meanwhile, DarkDyllon has gotten his ice rod. He's gonna head on into Turtle Rock, or excuse me, into Trinex.
And I mean, as of finding the ice rod, we are indeed in go mode. So
That is correct.
We'll be able to take care of Trinex here and then head on over into Ganon's Tower.
As we said earlier, both these runners have had really, execution-wise, have had a really good race. DarkDyllon has made some really good decisions on his own. He's done really good in this race, so it's been fun watching both these runners really have an overall really good run. They had a few trolley items, which has made this dungeon go a little bit longer. Had a full clear a few places that I'm sure they would have rather have not had to do, but it's really been both runners, both DarkDyllon and Gus have done a fantastic job in this race so far.
DarkDyllon making quick work of Trinex. So, you know what that means, Sir Laugh-A-Lot, right?
Oh yes, that means we are in the chest guessing game. There are 22 chests, guessing number 1 through 22 for the location of the big key for Ganon's Tower. We will see. Put in your guesses in chat. We'll see who gets the closest guess, and have a guess. What's your guess, DarkDyllon?
Let me see here.
Or excuse me, Ecos. What's your guess for DarkDyllon?
I was gonna say DarkDyllon's probably gonna hope for chest number 1 or 2, but you know, for me, I am likely going to guess. You know what? Let's go with number 16. Let's put it deep in the dungeon, but not quite tile room, really.
All right, I myself am gonna go with 11, which if he does the standard 2 chests on the right and then full cleared left side is usually the top left chest inside of the rando room.
Alright, looks like DarkDyllon is going to be going to the right side first, getting 2 keys in those first 2 chests.
Yeah, he's going to go do the right side. It's really not too bad of an idea. You got 2 keys. You know, if it's over here, you've got all the keys you need. And so, really, actually, I like the decision by DarkDyllon. And you got to be wondering, he probably feels like he's behind with how late he got the ice rod. Even though it wasn't in there, he's full cleared everything, did a blind pull on pedestal. I mean, he's near 100% at this thing. So he's probably got to feel he's pretty behind, and maybe even surprised that he hasn't seen a dot done yet.
Yeah, I know if I was in his shoes around the 2-hour mark, that's when I would start getting a little worried, thinking that my opponent's got to be close to being on Ganon right now.
Yeah. All right, we got our 4th bottle in chest number 6. So he'll likely work his way, get the key right up here, and then see if he goes. Yep, he's gonna go left from here.
Alright. Meanwhile, unfortunately, Gus still searching for that bow, just double checking all the locations. And DarkDyllon does get the small key on the torch, so Bob lives so far.
Yeah, he decides I've got plenty of keys at this point. I don't need to kill Bob yet, so Bob survives. We got 8.
Heart container.
9.
Rupees.
10. And 12.
11.
And nice and squeezy to, yeah, as chat's saying, the bow was in race game, which both of them checked really early on. Gus, he must have thought it was another item and completely missed it, and as such, he's not even thinking about rechecking that. He's going through every dungeon, reworking his way through, trying to find where that stingy bow is. And unfortunately for him, it is somewhere that you check really early on in the game and never go back to once you check it if you don't get the item.
Alright, DarkDyllon headed over to see what's in this chest here. And then gonna be heading over towards the randomizer room.
And I believe that was chest 13, correct?
Yes, that was chest number 13. Silvers were in the digging game. Or not digging game, the dig spot in the grove.
It came off the shovel, which came off of Helmasaur.
Alright, let's see what's in Rando room.
We got chest 14 is just bombs. 15 is a heart piece. 16, your guess, just the burrito.
Alright, so we're up to number 17. So we still have the Bob's chest and the 3 chests behind Ice Armos, and then Tile Room.
Yeah, not too many places left. The next one is Bob's chest, if I'm not mistaken, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and then it'll be the Ice Armos for the 3 chests behind them, and then of course Tile Room. So it's getting close to being a Tile Room check. Meanwhile, Gus just keeps diving everywhere, just checking, trying to remember, trying to figure out where this bow is, and maybe even feeling that this seed is broken.
Alright, so it was not in Bob's chest, so we'll see if it's behind Ice Armos. If not, we could actually have a Tile Room hype.
Yeah, so that was chest 18. We got 19, 20, and 21 coming up after he cleans up Armos Knights with Silvers. Really, really easy fight with Silvers.
19, 20, 20.
Oh, 21. 21. Wow.
Wow. Almost had Tile Room.
Almost. If he'd done the full right clear, he would have gotten that much quicker. That would have been chest 9 if he'd done the full right clear.
I feel you, chat. I was hoping for a Tile Room there.
Yeah, that would have just kind of put a cherry on the top of this race. And nice and squeezy. That is currently what Gus is doing. He is checking everything. He's been through all these places. He's checked every location that he possibly can without the bow, and it's really, really sad to see, because this would be a really close race. They could both be going through the gauntlet right now if he'd have gotten that bow. It's really unfortunate to see for him, and I'm sure he's going to be really, if he doesn't dot forfeit when DarkDyllon finishes, if he hasn't found the bow by then, he's going to be probably pretty frustrated when he finds where the bow is.
Alright, DarkDyllon heading into the gauntlet here. Having a little bit of trouble in that first room, but cleans it up really nicely.
You know, those red skeletons are one of the more annoying enemies in the game. They jump out of your way and then they start pelleting you with bones, and you're just like, really?
Yeah, definitely one of my least favorite enemies in the game.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, DarkDyllon makes rather quick work of this gauntlet.
Yeah, besides that one Stalfos, the red Stalfos, he's had a really good gauntlet so far. Picking up that extra magic, not a bad idea. Has plenty of hearts, he can just go right through that anti-fairy, get onto the Lambos, and keep their pattern from being too fast.
Ugh, misses that one cycle, just barely.
Yeah, I thought he had it. It's really good. Then he misses it again. Unfortunate.
And then one more spin slash should take care of Lamwolis here.
Yeah, he got kind of tired of missing with the silver arrows. So he's like, all right. I'm just gonna take you out with the old-fashioned way.
Now heading into my favorite rooms of the gauntlet, these Wizrobe rooms. Really
I hope that
showing
was
what
sarcasm.
Mario can do.
I love the strats in those rooms, in these Wizrobe rooms, but man, I'm terrible with it.
Oh, and he misses the second room.
Just dropped it right between all four of them, just split them all, and there we go. Got the cleanup there. He's on through.
He is now onto the torch room here. Once again, Gus is still trying to find that bow. Did he miss that top torch?
Yeah, he forgot to clear the pot, and he got trolled. He trolled himself. Forgot to clear the pot.
Alright, so he's going to have to go ahead and do this one more time. Probably very happy that he stopped to pick up that magic refill in the gauntlet.
Very good thing he did that now, because otherwise he'd be not in as good of a situation after using some extra shots there. Gets through the room. Definitely made sure to clear the pot that time. He'll pick up a magic refill here and then head to the next torch room.
And Gus is just stumped right now. He's gone through and checked almost every location that he possibly can.
That a second and third times, and up to Death Mountain again. He has no idea where to go at this point, which is so unfortunate to see.
And DarkDyllon not wasting any time to check any of these chests here. Going to try to go ahead and just finish up this race, not seeing that dot done. Probably thinking that Gus is likely on. You know, Ganon gonna be finishing any time now, so skipping any. Oh, he doesn't get the validation chest.
Oh,
the run is valid.
Valid run. It does get that. It may be hoping that the Butter Sword was there just to make the fight just a little bit easier. But with Tempered Sword, it's, you know, it adds Silver Arrows. Ganon's not too hard of a fight. Now, if he had Master Sword, it would be a big difference. Even with Silver's, those spin strats are just, they're so much harder. It takes so much longer. You can't hit it. You can't get as many hits in the same amount of time. And you just, yeah, it's much more harder to fight. But he's got Tempered, so not a big problem. He gets 2 on the first cycle. Oh!
Yeah, just barely misses the triple that first round.
Yeah, it was really good. And then he gets a blue ball on the second round. Doesn't get any. Gets 1 on that one.
Nice double there. Just needs 1 more and he'll have Aghanim 2 wrapped up here.
Overall, a really good Aghanim. Only took a few tries to get him down, so he's on his way to Ganon's Tower now, and Gus just looks stumped. He's been sitting in that spot. He was sitting there for a good minute and a half, just trying to think, and now, okay, he's heading the right direction. This is good so far.
Alright, come on, Gus. You can do this. You're
I
right
like where he's
there.
going. Okay,
And
okay.
he's checking it. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself.
He is going to be so
hard here.
mad. Oh, man. He just, yep. I think he just had to stop and stare at that for a few seconds. Just be like, really? Oh, man, you got to feel so bad for him. Like, that's so unfortunate that they both checked that within like 2 minutes of the seat starting, and just, oh, man.
Meanwhile, DarkDyllon on his Ganon fight. Looks like he does get into phase 3 rather quickly here.
Tempered Sword making quick work of Ganon. He's had some nice RNG where he spawned at. Meanwhile, Gus is now officially in go mode. He'll head over, clean up Armos Knights in Eastern Palace, and head on up to Ganon's Tower and work his way up there. We'll see if he does the full right side gamble. He's got to be feeling way behind at this point.
Yeah, there's just so much time spent trying to find the bow. Yeah, he's definitely feeling behind right now. Ooh, DarkDyllon getting a nice double there. Oh, and he takes the fall!
He tried to go for the final one, got the swipe on him, and got hugged off. Actually, I think the bat got him.
Oh, and that was the last hit he would have needed for Ganon as well.
He was so close. Had a really good Ganon fight up until then. He's got to be worried that he's going to get sniped on this. He's got to be feeling really. Those nerves have got to be going hard. I mean, this is it. You win, and you go on. You lose, and you're out. Yeah, and little does he know that Gus is way behind.
Yeah, this is his tournament life here. You know, he's definitely going to be feeling those nerves here, and that fall isn't going to be making this Ganon fight any easier.
No.
I mean, this is everything he's worked so far in this tournament, coming down to this moment here.
Yeah, and you know, those nerves have got to be going, and especially like you said, after that fall, it's not going to help him. He's got to be feeling even more stressed, more like he's like, how have I not lost yet? And he's got to be feeling those nerves.
And I do believe, does DarkDyllon still have a blue potion? I don't think I ever saw him use that.
He used one on Schoolwoods, but they got that second one in, I can't remember where it was, at the end of Swamp, the last chest in Swamp. So he does have another blue, so if he needs it, he does have that.
Alright. So, take 2 here. See if DarkDyllon is able to avoid getting knocked off the ledge again.
Yeah, he's got one more hit, and then he'll be on to the final phase. And I'm sure he's going to be probably a little bit safer this time. Maybe not go for that quick fourth swipe this time. Just you don't want to fall again. That's about one of the worst things that could happen. That would just get your nerves going even worse. Gets the torch glitch. He might be able to get a triple.
Just barely misses the triple. But he does get this here, and that is the race.
Well done for DarkDyllon.
He finishes with an SRL time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 24 seconds. GG to DarkDyllon. And with that, unfortunately, Gus does forfeit. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get these racers in here for an interview.
Yeah, and while we wait for them to get in, again, GG for both runners. Congratulations on DarkDyllon on advancing. And again, you got to feel for Gus. He had besides that bow, had a really good race, and really unfortunate how that one little thing came down to decide the race. Both of them had really good execution. Overall, really exciting race to watch, and you got to give both of them props for the race. And again, GG both runners. Well done.
And we are joined by DarkDyllon. Congratulations on winning your race.
Thanks.
How
that's it. Shaky.
Yeah.
Especially after that reverse bat hit into the pit.
Yeah. That second phase there, that second Ganon fight though, rather clean there, so making up for that unfortunate fall there.
Yeah, happily. Like, I made some plays that were questionable, but kind of ran out of places to search for the hammer.
Yeah.
It's always a little trolly when you find an item in its vanilla dungeon. It's one of the worst places to find anything. What is your overall thoughts on the seed? It started off pretty linear. Finding the bow in the race game early was really nice.
Yeah, finding the bow was really nice. At the same time, I knew that if I was going to find it by going like from the bottom in Kakariko, I knew Gus was going to find it soon as well, so that was going to give me an advantage. But yeah.
To let you know, the big reason why you were able to win is Gus unfortunately went to check the race game and either didn't see or thought the bow was a different item and did not grab it, and he probably spent 15 minutes looking for the bow before finally returning there, and was just finishing up Armos Knights when you got done. It was really unfortunate because you guys throughout the race were, besides that bow, were really neck and neck.
Like, to be honest, I was feeling behind the entire race simply because, like, that Desert Palace play, like, I marked it the wrong way. It's like I thought Tower of Hera was the Pandant Dungeon and Desert Palace was the Crystal.
Oh yeah, we were wondering if you had done that on purpose or if you're just like, in case it's a pedestal seed. That makes sense. It was got it mixed up.
Like when I saw that the Pandant drop, I was confused, so I opened up the map real fast and see that I was completely wrong. But overall, for the seed, it's like it will blew wide open as soon as you got like the mirror, and at some point it was getting linear again because you just didn't find any more items. And then obviously, you know, the hammer was one of the items I was searching the most. Finding it in pod, in pod as well. But also I miscounted a lot of items, like back in Skull Woods when I went back for the last chest. Like I miscounted and I thought I might have still one item, so I just went back, finding it was just a key. But also I didn't want to go into Turtle Rock like without being absolutely sure it was gonna be in Turtle Rock, the ice rod.
Yeah, that's never a fun dungeon to have to go back into if it ends up not being in there. You even went and did a blind pull on pedestal for a big 20 rupees.
Yeah, it was either just pull out the book or just pull blind. Wasn't really gonna matter in the end anyway.
Yeah, we were talking to Gus just real quick. He thought that the bow was a red rupee, so it's really unfortunate for him.
Oh wow, yeah, that sucks when that happens.
Yeah, that is, and I mean, it changed the entire race. Like, you guys probably would have been very close going in, like all the way through Ganon's Tower. He did have a butter sword. He found his first sword upgrade was in the back of Escape, actually.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that was still a thing.
And we figured after about an hour that you just completely forgot that even existed.
Actually, I did, yeah.
So,
thinking... Go for it.
Go ahead.
No, thinking about it, I would have been a lot more nervous if I actually found out, like, middle tier rock that I forgot to skip.
Yeah, that I'm sure. And I have to ask you. I imagine, like, you know, where this is a win or go home type race. How are you feeling? And you know, you said you felt behind. How are your nerves?
Completely out of whack. It's like, throughout at least half of the run, I was thinking I was behind all the time, and when I entered T-Rock, I was actually figuring that Gus was right on my tail, if not ahead. And especially when I entered the GT. So when I didn't saw that done by the time I got to Troll Dome 2, I was kind of feeling a little bit better. But still, that added pressure of like, maybe he's just, you know, right, like we're just neck and neck. Yeah, and then of course, you know, the whole reverse bat hit, and I was face popping pretty hard.
And it really, the whole race, I mean, if Gus had the bow, it would have been so close the whole way. Like, you never could have had any idea of who really was ahead at any one time. He made the play into pod for the hammer pretty early, and so he had that even before you went into Ice Palace, so he didn't have to go into Ice Palace twice.
Yeah, like as I said, like at that point I was kind of thinking I was out of options, not even thinking that I could just walk all the way around to use the flippers to get the pod. Like you don't see that like too often in randomizers. Like, how often do you see that these days? Where you actually have to jump into the water while going into Dark World CAC? At least I don't see that pretty often. But overall, it's like with a few dodgy moments, like the first death going to Crab. For the rest, I'm pretty satisfied with the seat. Also, I wasn't really I didn't want to go to Skull like into Morphila fight, like with Fighter's Sword.
Right, so now before we do go ahead and get everything wrapped up here, now with this tiebreaker, that does mean you do move on in the tournament. Any thoughts while moving into the bracket stage here?
Really happy that I actually get to move on. It's like the group I was in, like they were pretty evenly skilled except for Ninban, which obviously destroyed all of us. And well, for the most part, like everyone I raised were pretty evenly matched players. Like, and it generally came down to either a bad gamble or a bad play. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how the group ended up, and I'm really happy I'm gonna advance to the bracket stages.
Yeah, well, congratulations on advancing.
Thanks.
Yep. So yeah, once again, congratulations. The thing that is going to be it for us today. We are going to go ahead and get everything wrapped up here. I am Echoes, joined here by Sir Laugh-A-Lot, and I will allow you to have the last word here, sir.
Yeah, and as Chat has been talking, this is the final match of the group stages. We move on to the bracket stage, which will be a best of 3 single elimination. And there will be an announcement on the bracket stages on a new randomizer or new channel, ALTTP Randomizer. They will have an announcement for the bracket stage for the tournament on that channel. I'm not sure when that'll be, but it'll be coming up soon. I'm sure they'll make everybody aware of that, and look out for that, and keep looking for the next challenge. And congratulations once again to DarkDyllon, and GG's to Gus. Really good race. Unfortunate about the bow. You got to feel for him. And as my co-commentator said, I'm Sir Laugh-A-Lot. Thanks to Dude, our tracker, and Clifford for restreaming.
Yeah, thanks to the commentators for commentating the race and the tracker, and obviously also the restreamer.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.